Geocaching, a GPS treasure hunt. Geocaching is a fun treasure hunt, but that's not the only benefit. An obvious one is that people get to be physically active in the fresh air. You can find several geocaches in a row to extend your exercise. You can also make geocaching a social activity by working as a team. Geocaching is a great opportunity to bond with family, friends, or coworkers. Another great thing about geocaching is that you can learn more about your neighborhood. Maybe you used to walk by your local woods all the time, but you never went in. Now's your chance. Since geocaching isn't a race, you'll have plenty of time to get to know your environment. You might spot some interesting plants or animals. There are also special educational earth caches where you can learn about a unique environmental feature. Another special geocache is the cache in trash out idea. This is an organized cleanup during which people find the geocache and clean the surrounding area. There are lots of other interesting ways to play with the geocache concept. Geocaches can be found all around Taiwan. So what are you waiting for? Start searching.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Nikki.
And today we're going to continue our article about geocaching. Let's check out some different ways to do this fun outdoor activity in the second part of the article. So it begins by talking about why geocaching is fun. We kind of mentioned a few of these ideas in our chat question yesterday, but let's take a closer look. The article begins saying geocaching is a fun treasure hunt. Yeah, and we mentioned that. But that's not the only benefit. It's not the only good thing, the only advantage. The article says an obvious one, so one that's very clear, is that people get to be physically active in the fresh air.
You have to get out of your room.
Yeah, it's healthy. You're walking around, you're getting natural sunlight and fresh air, and you get to do this. This phrase get to is used to mean be allowed to do something or be allowed to have something that is fun, that is pleasant. It's something you like. So, oh, great, it's a holiday. We get to have 3 days off. Christmas is coming. I get to see my family and open some presents. That kind of idea.
那继上次我们讲到 geocaching 地理寻宝这个活动是怎么运作之后呢，今天我们要来讲更多它可以为我们带来的好处。其中之一就是它可以让我们有机会去呼吸更多新鲜空气，让我们走进大自然。那 get to do something 在这里的意思是能够或者是有机会去做某件事情。
And so the benefit is you'll be physically active, which means getting exercise, because physically is an adverb that means it's involving the body rather than the mind. Of course, mind is mentally. If you're mentally active, you might be sitting still but doing like a difficult crossword or Sudoku or something like that. If you're physically active, you are moving around, you're going places, you're using all of your muscles, you're burning some energy and getting a good workout. For example, you might say, I sit down all day during my job, so I like to be more physically active in the evenings and weekends.
Physically 这个副词指的是身体上或是肉体上的。For example, when you said that you're tired, it could be physically or mentally, or even both. 当我们很累的时候呢，我们可以是身体上的累，或者是心理上的累。那心理层面的，我们可以用 mentally 这个字。
Yeah, like hiking makes you physically tired, but if you've had fun, you're often like mentally active at the end of it. You like want to talk about it and chat, you just don't want to move. The article carries on and says, you can find several geocaches in a row to extend your exercise. So you've got the app, you don't just go, okay, found one, that's it, time to go home. You go, all right.
You can do it the whole morning, the whole afternoon.
Where's the next one? That's what in a row means. It's one after the other in a sequence. Okay, we'll find this one here, then this one here, then this one over here, and then by then we'll be back to like a different bus stop or a restaurant I know over there. We'll make it a whole afternoon.
那你可以一次玩很多个地理寻宝游戏来增加你的运动量。 In a row 指的是接连的、连续的，你玩了一个之后再去玩第二个。那 extend 这个动词指的是扩大或者是延伸。When you extend something, you make something larger or longer.
Yeah, or into a new area, something like that. So instead of just doing, oh, this will take about 30 minutes, if we do 3 or 4 in a row, that's like a good 2-hour hike, which is great. The article then says you can also make geocaching a social activity by working as a team. Yeah, you can do it on your own, no problem at all. Just wander off and do it by yourself to get a good hike. But why not do it with other people? Just like hiking, it's fun. The article explains geocaching is a great opportunity to bond with family, friends, or co-workers. A couple of words to look at here. We're going to start by checking out opportunity. An opportunity is a chance to do something. It's something you may not always get the chance to do, so it could be something new, and you'll likely only be able to do that for a short time. Like, oh, I've got to take it now while I have the opportunity before it goes away. And we generally use opportunity to talk about something you want. It's good. It helps you in some way. You desire it or want it. So it's a positive thing. You might say, for example, I get the opportunity to travel all around Asia in my job as a salesperson. So that's a good thing. Get to see new countries, meet new people.
那这个寻宝呢，不一定只能一个人玩，你甚至可以号召亲朋好友来，大家一起玩，那你就有机会和家人、朋友，甚至是同事们增进感情。Opportunity 这个名词指的是机会或者是可能性。An opportunity is a possibility of doing something. 那这个机会通常会是一件正面的事情。For example, speaking French gives me more opportunities to meet people around the world because not just French people speak French. Canadians or Belgians also speak French.
Yeah, the Swiss, North Africans, a lot of other African countries. You'll also bond with people.
那 bond 指的是建立感情。When you bond with someone, you create a close relationship with them.
Yeah, you'll have a shared memory. Maybe you'll chat about non-work things, that sort of stuff. The article adds, another great thing about geocaching is that you can learn more about your neighborhood. So your neighborhood is the houses, the streets, the parks, and the other features that are reasonably close to your home. Now, you may not know them all. You may have like, oh, I never realized there was a cool foods place here or a nice coffee shop, or hey, I didn't know there was a cool park just a couple of blocks away. So you might say, for example, there aren't many places to eat in my neighborhood. We'll have to go closer to the city center to find some restaurants.
那另外还有一个好处就是你可以更加了解你家附近你所居住的地区。Neighborhood 这个名词指的是地区或者是街区。那如果是你的邻居，我们就会称之为 neighbor.
And here's an example of how that might work. Maybe you used to walk by your local woods all the time, but you never went in. Yeah, there's places like that where I grew up. There's like, I know where they are, but like I've never actually gone and seen...
You never got the chance
to see what's on the other side or checked out, can you get from here to here going through instead of around on the roads? And you would maybe pass by them all the time. This phrase doesn't literally mean like all the time, the whole of the time. It just means very frequently. It's often. So as the article points out, now's your chance. Now's your opportunity. That word. Go in the woods, see what's there.
那之所以你会更了解你家附近呢，就是因为借由地理寻宝，你可能可以走进你平常不会去的地方。你平常可能每天都有经过这个森林，但是你从来没有进去过。所以 all the time 指的就是经常、频率很高的意思。
The article then points out that since geocaching isn't a race, you'll have plenty of time to get to know your environment. Yeah, the idea here isn't just to quickly get as many as possible, like you're beating a video game or trying to win something. Take your time.
Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah, look around, smell the flowers, see what's there, take some photos. You'll have plenty of time. Let's look at that word plenty. The word plenty means enough or more than enough of something to meet the needs of the situation. We often see it with the extra word of. There is plenty of time, there are plenty of people here, and so on. An example would be, I ordered 12 pizzas for the party, so there should be plenty for everyone, meaning everyone should have enough, everyone will have all they want to eat and more.
地理寻宝呢，并不是一项速度竞赛，所以你可以有很多的时间去了解附近的地区。Plenty 是代名词，指的是大量或是很多。For example, I drink plenty of water every day. It means that I drink lots and lots of water every day. Or when you said that we have plenty of time, it means that we don't have to hurry.
Right, take your time and look around. As the article says, you might spot some interesting plants or animals. Yeah, check it out. Now, there are other kinds of geocache. The article says there are also special educational earth caches where you can learn about a unique environmental feature. So in this case, instead of finding a box with a notebook, maybe the geocache will be a special old tree or like some interesting plants or something like that. It's educational. If something is educational, then it's describing something that is either intended for education, like a textbook is an educational book, but we can also describe something that you can learn from. If you could just go to a museum, that's educational.
Exactly.
It could just be fun, but if you learn something, it's an educational visit. We're going to do something educational today. Let's check out the History Museum. Here's another example. The TED Talk was very educational. I learned a lot about how the fashion industry is changing.
Education 呢是形容词，教育的或者是具有教育意义的，也就是说这个东西是值得学习的，或者是能够教我们一些事情。When something is educational, it is related to education. There are a lot of educational board games out there. Even the game Monopoly teaches us about capitalism.
Yeah, and what it's like to have no money.
Yeah.
So that's one, is earth caches. Another special geocache, the article says, another special geocache is the cash in, trash out idea. Okay, so this is a whole kind of title, and you can kind of imagine what it is from the name. The article says this is an organized cleanup during which people find the geocache and clean the surrounding area. So just pick up some trash as you're there, like maybe it's on a beach or in a wood. You just go, okay, let's look around, see what we can clean up. Now that sentence contains today's language in focus, so here's Nikki to tell you more about it.
在这里我们看到了用介系词和关系代名词来合并句子的文法 during which 如果我们把它拆开来看的话，它会是 This is an organized cleanup and people find the geocache and clean the surrounding area during the organized cleanup. 那在这里这个 organized cleanup 重复出现了，那为了要合并两句，我们留下来它的介系词 during 再加上一个关系代名词 which 代表这件事情，最后就会变成课文当中的这个句子了。
So the idea here is you find the geocache, you write your name or names in the logbook as usual, but it's organized. So maybe a whole group would go together, they plan it, they bring garbage bags and gloves and like tongs for picking stuff up, and you would clean the surrounding area. Surrounding means close to and all around something. You might say the people of the village often gather food and wood from the surrounding forest.
Surrounding 在这里是形容词，指的是附近的或者是周围的。It's nearby. When I lived in south of France, I used to explore the surrounding towns or cities every weekend. 那若是我们要说是周遭的事物或者是环境的话，我们可以用 surroundings 这个字。那记得它变成名词的时候，后面一定要加一个 s。
The article carries on and says there are lots of other interesting ways to play with the geocache concept. Play with in this case just means try new things, have a bit of fun. Like what other things could we do? I mean, just off the top of my head, I could think make it a mystery thing. So each geocache contains, as well as the logbook, there's a clue. And you've got to answer the riddle or find the solution before you get the final geocache.
And then you have to collect all the clues together.
Yeah, there is kind of something similar in the Taipei MRT system where you follow this app that takes you to different stations and you've got to find things in the stations. And by the end of the few hours, you've got to have solve the problem and stop the bomb. Yeah, check it out. It's out there.
那所以这样看下来，地理寻宝可以有很多种不同的玩法。Concept 是名词，指的是概念，也就是说，在这边地理寻宝其实是一个概念，不一定是一个一定要怎么做的事情。It's a principle or an idea.
The article carries on and says geocaches can be found all around Taiwan, which makes sense because there's so much nice nature to look for. And then the article says, so what are you waiting for? Start searching. It really is that easy. You feel like hiking? Turn it into a geocaching activity.
Yeah, just download an app.
Yeah, want to have a picnic? See if there are any cool geocaches nearby that you can make part of your trip into the hills or out to the country or whatever it is. So that brings us to the end of the second part of the article. And today's chat question is going to relate to that thing we just said about geocaches being all around Taiwan. So what's our question?
Which part of Taiwan would be good for geocaching and why?
Yeah, which part of Taiwan would be good for geocaching? I mean, straight off, I just think somewhere on the east, the East Coast in general.
Same.
Because there's so much nature. But then I thought, well, hang on. A lot of that is just mountain and then ocean. There's maybe
you probably need a car to move around.
And there's fewer places you can actually walk and hike to. So maybe you need to go somewhere more like Nantou County, where there's maybe a bit more places to walk around. Yeah, somewhere flat or something like that, where there's a bit less difficult stuff that you have to walk over or through. Like in Tailuga, beautiful scenery, but it's so difficult. There's only one way to get to the places. So that's not so good. You want somewhere that's more big and open, lots of kind of forests or bridges or low hills to walk over.
Yeah, and a park would be too easy, right?
I think if it was a big Da'an Forest Park, you could I bet there is at least one in there somewhere that you could go and find. But yeah, or even Taiwan's riverside area. There are loads of places.
And you can bike.
Yeah, you can bike. You could take, you could take is there still a water taxi? Can you still go on a boat and move around?
Don't think so.
I don't know. There was at one point. Anyway, there's lots of others. So yeah, check it out. Check out the apps, see what you think. Maybe you can have fun doing this too. Now the weather is starting to get nice and warm and being perfect for outside. But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching for everyone. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Physically. Our teacher encourages us to be physically active by organizing fun games, sports days, and lively dance classes. Opportunity. When Alice saw that her school was offering a new art class, she took the opportunity to join it. Neighborhood. This is a rich neighborhood. You can tell by all the big houses and fancy cars. Plenty. Heather doesn't have much time right now, but she'll have plenty of free time during her summer vacation. Educational. Educational. Ian's mother is happy that he watches TV shows about science because she thinks they're educational. Surrounding. On weekends, Emily likes to get out of Taipei and visit the city's surrounding mountains.
智慧小补帖
Extend. Bond. Concept.